I think your business at any given point in time should have a structure that you can define. And that structure simply means that things are not fluid. It's not about that structure being right or wrong. For example, when people talk about processes and lack of it, they generally have a very fancy view of what a process looks like. They have a fancy view of what a structure looks like. They have a view of, I need to have X number of employees, hierarchy. There has to be a executive and a manager and a senior manager and a director. That's not called structure. Hierarchy is basis what is the need of the business in terms of cushion. Hierarchy is a different problem. A structure and a process simply means that in your business, if there are 20 tasks that are required to fulfill a certain service, can you write down all those 20? And they can be in a wrong process. Wrong and right is a matter of perception. Can you write a process? Which also means a surrogate to that, realization can be, can you step out from your business and can you write a guide for someone and still deliver exactly what you said? If that is true, that means you have a structure. That means there is a process. Your business at any given point in time should have a structure, should have a process that is defined. You can change it tomorrow. That is fair. But yesterday you had one structure, one process. Now you have a version 2 because the need changed or something landed. I was talking to a restaurateur and she kept on telling me, I'm not a process person. I'm not a process person. Then she said, but I want to scale my restaurants. She has 3 restaurants. And I said, but you have 3. She said, yeah, but I can't do 30. I said, and why? She said, because I'm not a process person. When she said it 4th or 5th time, I was like, wait, I have a question. Why are you continuously saying I'm not a process person? She said, I can't make processes. I said, so do you work at your own restaurant? She said, no. So I said, so your dishes don't come out the same each time? She said, of course they do. I said, so your waiters don't serve the right way, same time? Same way every time? She said, no, they do. I said, what part of your restaurant is right now fluid, which keeps on just changing, which is jelly? She was like, no. I mean, restaurant is all fine. My dishes are perfect. My staff is doing well. So I said, then can you repeat what do you mean by that you're not a process person? Then she thought for a second. She laughed. And फिर वो बोली कि नहीं, I have been told that I'm not a process person. I said, wait, who told you that? Oh, she said, I have a friend who is, works with a large corporate hospitality company. He looked at my processes and my documents and he was like, no, this is not, you don't know how to build a process. I said, well, I think with due respect to your friend, maybe you don't have as well-defined processes and structure as he or she believes, come from their company. Let's keep that aside. Are your 3 restaurants well run? Can they run without you? She said, absolutely, they run without me. Perfect. Process. She said, so you think that I can scale to 30? I said, no, that's not what I meant. Probably you need more granular processes. Maybe you need to relook at processes to see if they are replicatable. So structure and process are always required. I had a structure and process in a 20 people team. I had it in 50. I had it in 100. But fact is, कि depending on which part of the business you are looking at, somebody somewhere will actually say कि नहीं यार ये तो chaotic है, यहाँ तो process ही नहीं है. वो भी सच है और नहीं भी है. Point ये है कि when you are moving, when you are growing, your process is going to be beaten by you. Your structure is going to get destroyed at each layer, at each level. If you are growing, your structure, your process is continuously going to break. It is going to be rendered useless more often than you would appreciate. हमारे साथ ये बहुत बार हुआ जब हमने पूरा साल लगाकर एक प्रोसेस सेट किया एंड बाय दैट टाइम हम ग्रो कर गए, वो पोजीशन ही यूजलेस हो गई और हम सोच रहे हैं कि अब क्या करें, दोबारा बनाते हैं. बिकॉज अब नया वेरिएबल है, अब नया स्केल है, नए टाइप का कस्टमर है, नई मार्केट है, दोबारा बनाना पड़ेगा. जरूरी नहीं है कि जो एक बार बनाया था अब वही हमेशा चलेगा। जरूरी ये भी नहीं है कि क्योंकि ब्रेक तो हो ही रहा है और क्योटिक लग रहा है तो बनाने की जरूरत नहीं। स्ट्रक्चर्स एंड प्रोसेसेस आर ऑलवेज रिक्वायर्ड, बट अगर इनका नाम हटा दें, थोड़ा स्ट्रक्चर और प्रोसेस वर्ड हैवी है। स्टार्टअप्स, अर्ली बिजनेसेस, स्मॉल बिजनेसेस, सिंगल ओनर ड्रिवन बिजनेसेस के केस में ये वर्ड्स बहुत हैवी हो जाते हैं। इसको थोड़ा बेहतर तरीके से बोलते हैं। स्टेप बाय स्टेप अप्रोच टू डू एनी पार्ट ऑफ द टास्क that your business needs. It can be operational, it can be service, it can be delivery, it can be to the customer, it can be to an internal stakeholder, it can be anywhere. If you can write a document that literally defines all the steps and everything that you do, you will be surprised that 95% of the problem statement is quite robotic at any given point in time. You can argue that humans can fuck up, sure, but doesn't mean that the process was not robotic. 5% requires fluidity, thinking on toes, क्योंकि आपके पास ज़्यादा लोग नहीं है, आप ही शेफ हो और आप ही जैनिटर हो और आप ही सब कुछ हो। Fair, some fluidity will be required, your on the toes thinking will be required, आपके resources कम है, आपको short turnaround चाहिए, you will do some sort of a जुगाड़, but even that can be documented. ऐसे कितने जुगाड़ हैं जो आप हवा में से निकालते हो? आपके जुगाड़ के भी वेरिएबल्स लिमिटेड है, 8 तरह के जुगाड़ हैं, वो डॉक्यूमेंट कर दो। एनेक्डोटल एविडेंस डॉक्यूमेंट कर दो कि जब ये फटे तो ये कर लेना, ये हो तो ये कर लेना। बट जब आप लिखने बैठते हो, जब आप रियलाइज करते हो कि देयर इज अ प्रोसेस, देयर इज अ मेथड टू द मैडनेस, इट हेल्प्स यू स्केल, इट हेल्प्स यू डेलीगेट। स्केलिंग should be demystified. Scaling is scary because it feels like कि आप कुछ अलग करने वाले हो स्केल करने के लिए। Absolutely not. In a business, your scalability is directly proportional to repeatability of each task. Anything that becomes repeatable scales automatically. Anything that has a problem in repetition will not scale. अगर हर बार एक टास्क करने पे सेम रिजल्ट आना शुरू हो जाता है, ऑफ कोर्स विद कंस्ट्रेंट वेरिएबल्स, तो आप एस्ट्रिस्क लगाते हो। दुनिया में आपका सबसे बड़ा, अगर आपको स्केल करना है तो आपका सबसे बड़ा दोस्त है एस्ट्रिस्क। कंडीशंस अप्लाई। जब गाड़ी खरीदते हो तो गाड़ी में वो बताता है ना 24 किलोमीटर पर लीटर, उसमें एस्ट्रिस्क लगाओ। रोड ऐसी होनी चाहिए, गड्ढा नहीं होना चाहिए, हीट इतनी होनी चाहिए, टेम्परेचर इतना होना चाहिए, प्रेशर इतना होना चाहिए, टायर ऐसा होना चाहिए। वो तो कभी होएगा ही नहीं, तो 24 किलोमीटर पर लीटर भी कौन सी मिल रही है? तो योर जॉब इज नॉट टू जस्ट गिव एन आंसर, योर जॉब इज टू डिफाइन द कंडीशंस। योर जॉब इज टू से इन दीज कंडीशंस दिस प्रोसेस इज गोइंग टू गिव द सेम रिजल्ट। इट कैन बी स्मॉलेस्ट ऑफ द टास्क और द लार्जेस्ट ऑफ द टास्क। वो कितना रिपीटेबल हो सकता है is going to become scale for you. And if it's not repeatable, अगर आपको लगता है कि मैं एंटरप्रेन्योर नहीं हूं, मैं आर्टिस्ट हूं, मैं कुछ ऐसा करता हूं कि लास्ट मोमेंट पे क्लाइंट मान जाता है, मैं कुछ ऐसा जुगाड़ करता हूं जो मैं कन्विंस कर लेता हूं, तो आप ही जुगाड़ करते रहेंगे, आप ही कन्विंस करते रहेंगे, क्योंकि ये रिपीट नहीं हो सकता, क्योंकि पता नहीं वो क्या पूछेगा, पता नहीं आप कौन सा खरगोश निकालने वाले हो अपने हैट में से। ये रिपीटेबल प्रोसेसेस नहीं है। सो स्ट्रक्चर एंड प्रोसेस जहां पे हो, जैसे हो, जब उसको लिखने की कोशिश करोगे तो आपको रियलाइज होगा कि आपके अंदर भी बहुत सारा स्ट्रक्चर और प्रोसेस है। जस्ट बिकॉज आपने लिखा नहीं था तो आपको उसके बारे में पता नहीं था। लिखो, उसको रिपीट करके देखो, और जब आपको लगे कि आप ग्रो गए हो, इट विल ब्रेक एनीवे, दोबारा लिखो, दोबारा रिपीट।